What's up, everyone? Welcome to the CBR Show, Episode 7, Week 7, October 24th, 2022. With me, as always, is Bill. Bill, how's it going, buddy?
We are in full swing of Red October right now here in Philadelphia. I'm sure we'll get to all that, but I can't remember being this exciting in the last probably 10 years, because that's about how long it's been since 2017, man. People are pumped here.
That's awesome. I mean, what a time to be alive in Philadelphia. You got the Philadelphia Union soccer team doing well, Eagles doing well, the Phillies on their way to the World Series.
Flyers were doing well, right?
I mean...
Sixers? I don't know. Grease the poles up? Mm-hmm.
Grease the poles. It wasn't working. I saw some video of some feisty fella in a Flyers jersey made his way up the pole.
It's the level. It's your drunk enough. If you like your drunk level, if you're drunk enough, the grease doesn't stop you.
That is, I think, yeah. So Spider-Man is always wasted. That's the thing that people don't realize about Spider-Man.
Piss drunk.
Piss drunk.
That's why he's always got quips.
Yep. That's not. It's just vomit he's shooting out of his wrist. It's not really spider webs. He's like
better than other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. That is true. Well, I mean, this has been a big week for CBR Media. I mean, this is our 7th successful podcast. I don't want to get in the weeds too much with everything, but I feel like we should shout out to the people that are watching us and listening to us. Here's a couple big cities that I felt that deserve some shout outs. So if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think some of these are clustered in groups. But if you're the people listening, we greatly appreciate you. We have Charleston, South Carolina. Big shout out to them. Yep. Let's see, Norristown, PA. Not sure where that is, but they're also...
that's right here.
Oh, bummer. So that's you. Darn, this didn't go over well. Deerfield Beach.
That's my
Panama City. Waltham, Massachusetts. I have no idea where that is, but big shout out to them. Here's a good one. Try and say this one. Ronkonkoma, New York.
Ronkonkoma.
Is that how you say it? Ronkonkoma? Ronkonkoma, New York. And my favorite, Bel Air, Maryland, Alexandria, Virginia, all local. And here's another one. Jakarta, Indonesia. Big followers there. They've been listening every week.
We're international.
Well, almost every week. But yeah, the listens have been pouring in. The fight video, surprisingly, people brawling in the stands. We'll put it in the show notes too. That's over 500,000 views on Instagram.
Yeah,
crazy.
Comments are coming in. Every time I look at my phone, there's a new comment.
Yeah, it's great.
I did notice a new thing in that video. What's that?
What I said, very little trolling.
And we can.
One of my favorite comments though that came in this week was, and if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. But the Freddy Krueger guy that pops out at the end, someone asked if it was Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. No, it's his alter ego. Whatever his alter ego was.
Garth Brooks is making a comeback.
Garth Brooks had a whole album as another person.
Oh, Chris K.
Chris. I can never think of anything while we're recording. But I think I noticed something in that video. Okay, so the guy that's got the high ground, he gets rocked a little bit, and then he's falling, and the Cleveland guy, a lead. Oh boy. Good. Hello, this is Bill.
Thank you, friend, from Mr. William. This is Romeo from Listing Leads. How are you doing today?
Oh. No, it's called Listing Leads. I thought it was a lead. All right,
Oh man, did you just pause our show for a hot realtor lead?
Yes. Well, hey, I got a listing.
You got to do what you got to do. We got to keep the lights on somehow.
Exactly. TheWarebrothers.com. So once he rocks this guy, and then the guy goes to throw that punch, right? And the Cleveland guy, I swear, he thinks about saving him for a second. Well, I'll put it up here. You won't be able to see it, but because I don't have it. But there's a moment there, and then I think he goes, F it. It just lets him go. And then he says to the other guy, "What's up? I love it." Well, I don't love it. You shouldn't fight in the stands, but...
No, you shouldn't fight. And that seems to be the general theme that people have is that, don't fight in the stands. But, I mean, that is a classic fight. There's people falling over, there's beer being thrown, and then there's a guest celebrity, either Freddy Krueger or Garth Brooks, popping out at the end.
Teleporting in.
Chris Gaines. That was his name. He was Chris Gaines.
Right. Right.
What the hell does that say about you as an artist where you're like, I'm going to be the same person, just change my name? Garth Brooks had an emo side to him, bro.
Was he trying to fool us? Like, did he think we wouldn't know who it was?
What about the person that like bought that CD at Walmart and was like, this Chris Gaines guy is awesome. And then somebody's like, that's Garth Brooks. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Why would Garth Brooks ever
never
change
like
his
him.
name and put out an emo album? That
Yeah.
sounds just like Garth Brooks.
Was like a pen name. He's got like a pen name for his, like Dex Winchester, but for music, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of like music artists that aren't using their real names, but then they don't stop and then start using their real name. It's just so
It's
bizarre.
strange,
What were
right?
you doing, Garth? We'll have to get Garth on the show next week and ask him what he was thinking about this whole Chris Gaines thing.
I'll
And
call
if
him
it
up.
even was successful. But anyways, let's move on to what we talk about best, and that's not Garth Brooks' alter ego. That is sports. And the big news of the day, the big news everywhere, is the Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series.
Yes, and I think we got two guys entering into the history of Philadelphia, Bryce Harper and Rhys Hoskins. I think we'll be talking about them for years and years to come. Wall of Fame, you know. We love to revere our athletes here, so I think we'll be talking about them forever.
All right, quick question. What over under, give me a number on how many kids 9 months from now will be named Rhys or Bryce, because they were conceived yesterday, Sunday.
In the
October
metropolitan
23rd.
area, tri-state area,
Philadelphia and surrounding.
there's going to be some Bryce Reeses. Bryce, middle name
Rhys
Reese.
Bryce.
Reese Bryce.
shenanigans going on.
Bryce. I'm Bryce. Yeah, definitely some. Are you saying so? Like to celebrate this win, people went upstairs and got a little frisky.
No doubt. I think the
Baseball
birth rate in
never makes
Baltimore
fun
when
like
we won
this.
the Super Bowl, 9 months from the Super Bowl, there was a bunch of kids being born. I mean, that stuff just really has a way of taking over.
When the
And,
game ends, I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
"Honey, wake up! It's time for action.
I'm so excited. Wake up.
Roll over.
I love the Phillies. Can't you tell? Look at this thing.
Leave me alone, for the love of God."
MVP trophy. I want to show you my NCLS MVP. Bryce Harper, hands down, top-notch performer in the NCLS. I don't know if you know, Bill, but Bryce Harper was 8 for 20. That's batting 400 for those that are quick at
know.
math.
Kill
He had
it.
2 home runs, one being probably the biggest of his career.
What is
biggest
that? Anyway, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Superman,
Biggest,
maybe?
yeah, amazing
So 2
moment.
home runs, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored in 5 games. I mean, that's massive. The guy
Up
has
there.
last year he tried to carry Philly into the playoffs, and now he put the Phillies on his back and is marching them into the World Series. And I hope they win. I mean, besides all that like financial, economic collapse, we're all headed to a world of ruin. I mean, all that aside, go Phillies.
Put some money away.
That's
Because
right.
it's about to be a financial collapse. If you guys didn't see the last episode, you should watch it. But Murph, what did you tell us?
Phillies are going to win 4-1, and what'd they do, Bill?
What do you mean?
I thought you were talking about how I referenced that the Phillies are going to win 4-1.
Oh no, economic collapse. Dogs and cats
yeah.
living together.
Yeah, dogs, cats living together, state
Every time they've won, there's been an economic collapse. So put some money away. Jim
Yeah,
Cramer
I
says sell.
Well, I mean, if you bet on the Phillies, then you win money, and then you put it under your mattress and save it for after the financial collapse that happens. 2022. End of
Definitely
day.
get your doomsday kitchen ready.
Well, at least you get to see a World Series. I mean, I'm still waiting from 1983 for an Orioles World Series. I was 3 years old. I have no memory of it. None.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they get it together over there in Baltimore.
We're on the right track. We got Adley, we got Gunnar. But more importantly, I guess we just need to talk about the matchup. You got the Houston Astros, cheaters, cheaters,
Boom.
and going against the Phillies. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough matchup, but I think the Phillies, the momentum, the town behind it, everybody rooting for them. I think you're going to have Phillies win 4-2, maybe even a Game 7. I'm calling a 7-game series, 4-3 Phillies. Bryce Harper game-winning single, and Philadelphia implodes into a. It just disappears off the map because everybody got so excited that they won the World Series.
I wouldn't be surprised if we spontaneously combusted, all of us. Combusted. Yeah, man. Crazy.
Great time to be alive. Anyways, all right, moving on. We have football, fantasy, real life. There was a lot of things going on yesterday. A lot of injuries, and one really, really bad call that helped my team, the Ravens, win the game. We're up 23-20. Now, Cleveland, they still had to make the field goal. And if anybody didn't see this, it's on our YouTube page. We'll put it in the show notes as well. But Cleveland's getting ready to kick a game-tying field goal. It was probably like a 55, 58-yarder or something like that at the time. And the Ravens jump. They throw the flag. You think it's offsides on the Ravens, going to move Cleveland even closer. But somehow they call false start on the Browns. I didn't see it, and I'm a Ravens fan. And I watched that video over and over and over again, trying to think like maybe I didn't see something to feel. I want to feel less guilty about my win. Yes, the NFL scripted. That's what I'm getting at. But it cost Cleveland the game. The guy goes back 5 yards, 10 yards, whatever, and he kicks the field goal wide left. Ravens hold on to another nail biter, and Cleveland doesn't win.
Cleveland's
Did you
cursed,
see that,
man.
Bill?
Cleveland is cursed. I did not see that. I was happy to see the Ravens won. I was wrapped up in the Phillies, I guess, all day on Sunday. So,
Yeah,
but
I would say you were wrapped up somewhere because right now, me and you are going head-to-head in DraftKings, and you're down.
yeah, let's talk about this.
119 Murph, 73 Bill. You still got 120 minutes of.
Yeah, but what do you
got
have?
two guys going tonight, so you still got a chance. But I think we
got
both
a guy
picked the same
going.
running back. So we'll see. I can't see who you've started, but yeah, right now
I'm dead in the water.
Yeah, you've got an uphill battle to get through.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm not going to tell you who I played, but we're going to zappy you. We're going to zappy you right in the. That's my hint.
I got this. Not worried, but yeah, there a couple big things happened yesterday. Brees Hall, the Jets, blew out his knee. He's done. I would say he's done. I think it was just reported that he was done. Amon-Ra St. Brown, concussion. I think he was picked up by the doctor on the sideline. That's what my understanding is, that they called him off, and he was benched for the rest of the game because of his concussion. So he was out. Let's see. Guys on my fantasy football team, Mike Williams, Lazard, and DK Metcalf all went down with injuries. They're saying it's something not as serious as what they thought, and he's going to try and be back to practice on Wednesday, but the coach doesn't see that happening. And then Lazard, shoulder injury, no update on him yet. Mike Williams, maybe a high ankle sprain. He got his ankle rolled pretty bad, so leaves a lot of openings in fantasy. You could probably pick up Dobbs for Green Bay. Tyler Lockett for Seattle could be a pickup there. Mike Williams, at least they're getting Keenan Allen back, but I would look at Palmer as a must-add over there if Mike Williams is going to miss any time. And then Detroit's just in shambles. Yeah. And Coleman is the running back for the Jets. And can you tell I did my research today?
Yeah, and you also must have done research because you placed fifth place in a DraftKings.
Yeah, but the DraftKings went down right at the last final minute of every game. I just squeezed into the top five. It was top five. Each person got $50. I was super pumped, and then I couldn't update the score to see if I actually won. I had to watch and then
that's frustrating.
Hope that nobody had the guys that scored. But
Herbert didn't do you any favors, really. I mean, it wasn't no doubt.
Dude, it was tough. If Herbert would have had a better day in some of the other things that I had put in, I would have really cleaned up. But Herbert kind of struggled. And you know who didn't struggle? CBR recommendation, Kenneth Walker the third. Our favorite Yellowstone character, Kenneth Walker the third. 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that last touchdown run is what put me on the DraftKings $50 board. Made some money.
Yeah, man. Value play. Kenneth Walker the third.
That was
I played Rippin. Let's see how Rippin did.
What's that?
I played Rippin. Let's see how he did. I had a horrible day.
Mark Rippon, his dad.
His son, yeah, Mark Rippon. They brought him back.
Mm.
Let's see here. Hopefully
Let's
this is the
talk about-
one. No, Matt Ryan, boo.
Matt Ryan's
DK,
okay.
hurt. Matt Ryan only had 11.92 points, sir.
Well, he did good in my fantasy league. I think he got 30 points for somebody, but they got some
Probably
weird
this one.
scoring.
Ooh,
So
that is horrible. Rippon did 225 passing yards, no touchdowns. How about a Geno watch? I have some stats.
Geno
Give me
watch.
the Geno watch.
it's happening, bro. He's slowly sinking. Geno Smith, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT, 1 fumble. I thought he had more than that, but I guess yeah, because the Goodwin had 2 touchdowns, so maybe he had 2 touchdowns. Here I am. I don't even know my own stats.
Did you stab your Geno Smith voodoo doll last night in the leg or anything?
I did not, because I have DK Metcalf in fantasy, so I gotta try and hope that I get some points there.
Selfish.
I had Lockett on the bench, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think our buddy at Philly Fox the Gambler, what is it? Sean
Yeah.
Brace, our buddy
Sean
at
Brace.
the Sports Talk Radio.
The Fox
He put out
Sports
a
the
question.
Gambler.
What is it?
Fox Sports the Gambler, Philadelphia.
Free plug for Sean.
There you go.
He put out a question: is Seattle good? And I said, maybe, kind of, not really, because they haven't played anybody good, and the Chargers' defense is soft. Who else did they beat? They beat Denver, who's in shambles. I think they lost to Atlanta. They're 4-3, but they haven't really played anybody seriously good. And you would think that Tampa Bay will probably lose to them at this point. I think that what is going on in Tampa Bay, by the way?
I think Brady's just shook. Giselle shook him. I don't know. Is it Brady's fault? Whose fault is it over there?
Do you think it's just a bunch of superstars, and when they don't get their way, they start to destruct? It's
You
destructive.
think he's calling Gronk right now? Hey, Gronk,
No. Yeah, come on back. Again.
get back here. You don't have to work out or anything. Just get back here. Okay. Okay, Tom.
I love you, Tom. I don't know. Tampa Bay's in trouble, man. Pittsburgh
I'm surprised,
almost beat Miami
yeah.
last night. What's going on in the world?
It's crazy, man. Crazy. Sometimes you just get old. I suppose that could be it.
Yeah, maybe Tom has finally hit. It probably is because him and Giselle are beefing about this season. He was going to retire, and then he came
Hey,
back.
Tom, you cannot play tonight.
Is that
You
how
get
she
none of
talks?
these tonight, Tom. After the game.
Is that how she talks?
I think so.
Wow.
I'm doing Sofia Vergara. Hopefully they're from the same place.
Yeah.
Other fantasy people, Dalton went off 4 TDs.
Yeah.
Burrow 4 TDs, 481 yards, man. Who's this guy Boyd?
Dalton had 6 TDs.
Did he run for 2?
No, he threw 2 to Arizona.
Those
2
don't-
back-to-back pick sixes.
those
So
don't
everybody's
count.
like, "Oh, Arizona's awesome because they beat the Saints." Well, Dalton gave them 2 pick sixes, so don't get on your high horse there, Cardinals. And also, your beaks are painted. Beak painting is real.
Yeah, get your own house in order before you come talk to us, Cardinals. God darn it, Dr. Chet. Who's this guy Boyd? Was he a Bengal?
Yeah, he's been floating around. I mean, he was number 2 until him and Higgins were 1 and 2. I want to say before they got Chase. But Joe
155
Burrow's
yards.
heating up, man. Add him to your fantasy roster if you can. He just starts taking off, and I think their schedule is pretty soft moving forward.
Yeah.
Food for thought. But I think that's it for football. I mean,
Oh, wait a minute. How about this? Taysom Hill update. Let's see if he is running up that hill.
So Taysom Hill, our weekly Taysom Hill update is he was 2 for 2 throwing the ball, 48 yards, 3 rushing attempts for 9 yards, 1 reception for 3 yards, and a touchdown. And that is Taysom Hill still doing his thing out there.
If Shohei Ohtani was a football player, is kind of what Taysom.
Hill.
We need to get him playing some defense. He recovered a fumble that one game. Special teams.
I mean, the way the Saints are going right now with injuries, he may end up being like cornerback or like outside linebacker. Which
Right? Remember when like
how awesome would that be?
Remember like Deion Branch became a cornerback? I think it was Deion Branch, Belichick. They used to have the worst players. I don't know how they won a few Super Bowls at the beginning.
Tom Brady.
They had they had that Branch. It's like they had duct tape on this team. Branch was I don't know. It's kind of fun though. Like nobody expects anything. I love that when like go out and pitch. You know, when I used to play baseball, like we know you're going to suck. We're down by 30. Go ahead and pitch. Okay.
What's the worst that could happen? We'll be down by 40.
Yeah. That's pretty much what
No,
happened.
that'd be awesome if there was like a linebacker / like running back where he's like out there tackling people, then just stays out on the field and runs the ball after a turnover.
He just never leaves. So not terrible. I guess he scored a touchdown. I don't know if you had Taysom, maybe you're happy.
Yeah, I think they got a big matchup this week against somebody with a suspect defense. I forgot to look it up, but
in the last minutes will be a field goal. They're like, here comes out. Is that Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill with the field goal.
Kicking the field goal?
Just let him do it all until he proves that he can.
Yeah, right.
Huge. I sent Taysom a message on the gram saying, "Hey Taysom, would you like to come on our podcast?" And you know what he said?
What do you say?
Nothing, because he didn't get back to me.
And he's been driving this whole time. There's
it was during the game. So we'll see.
Do you have anything else to discuss to bring to the table?
You know, I'm trying to think. There was a lot going on this week. It's just hard to keep track of it all. You know, nothing. NBA just kicked off. Nothing too exciting there, right?
Sixers 0-3, maybe 0-4 by now. I don't know, but I got to get out of this Phillies black hole I'm in. That's all I can think about.
I don't blame you. Have you got World Series tickets?
No, you know what? They're only like $260 to the third game, their third win.
What?
And then they went up.
Yeah, they're like $1,000. I looked yesterday. They're like $1,000.
I went to a World Series game. I guess you haven't had any opportunities.
I've never been to a World Series game.
Yeah, well, you can't. If there's no World Series, you can't go.
But, Bill, I did apply on the Phillies website for World Series tickets.
Apply?
So, yeah,
like lottery?
Like you get your name in the lottery, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad we're talking about this because I want to talk about these mound ads. Have you seen these mound ads?
Oh, yeah, on the mound when they're pitching? Like they're digitally superimposed on the mound?
Yeah, at first it's almost you can't tell if they just went out there and wrote it in chalk or something for a lot of them, although I did see other ones that are more colorful. But like it's a lot of like national companies and whatnot, but it seems like if they can't find anybody, any of these big companies, they'll just sell to anybody. Have you noticed like the ones they're putting up?
Do you have an example?
I have some examples, yeah. So we'll start with the T-Mobile. I mean,
yeah, there it is.
You know, T-Mobile, I get it. You know, it's semi-annoying, but that's cool. You know, some of them are just more eye-catching. There should be a video if it's not... Oh, yeah, around-the-clock bail bonds. Schenectady Tourism Board. Find yourself in Schenectady. And this one, OnlyFans.
Yeah, I don't think that they really looked that deep into that one.
How about that one?
Glory Days Grill.
Glory Days Grill. How about this one? Ryan Braun's Reliable Delivery Service. But
What's
that?
Is that his urinalysis?
What's falling out of the truck there?
Mickey's?
Mickey's.
That's for Philly. That's for
Philly. I mean, you don't want to... You got to have a certain expectation on these. You don't want just anybody.
So the question about the OnlyFans thing, did they not screen that? Were they like, oh, it's for fans? That's right, baseball. For all the fans out there, you can have the ultimate fan experience with OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That's my radio broadcast voice.
Mom, what's OnlyFans? I hear you're on it.
Yep.
And then, do you like frozen pizza?
Hold on, I'm throwing stuff at my son so he can shut the door so all the sound from the washer and dryer doesn't get sucked into the microphone.
I'm obligated to report you.
Well, I wasn't throwing at him, I was throwing at the door.
It's too late. Save it for the Child Protective Services.
Delete this part of the show, Bill.
Yeah. Do you like frozen pizza? Are you a fan?
No, I mean, I'll eat it, but not if... You know what about frozen pizza? It always makes me sleepy. Have you ever had that?
Well, you know,
I think there's something in frozen pizza, like in the ingredients.
I think the sauce tastes like metal. But before we go on to talk about frozen pizza, let's check out the people. I'll tell you who loves pizza. The people of Wisconsin, specifically in this grocery store right here. Look at this tour. This is from the Willie Geist Show in the morning. Look at this pizza section.
What?
It does not stop. Still going. That's loud. Sargento. And then just when you think, it's ice cream or something, no. It's not ice cream. It's more pizza.
What is
And we're
going
still
on
going.
in that town?
They're just
I feel
eating
like it's
pizza, man.
Do aliens live there or something?
Is that incredible?
Dude, that's bizarre.
So, what? My question is, what's your favorite frozen pizza? Do you like a frozen pizza? I could pretty much skip all of them, but
I like cooked frozen pizza. I like it cooked. I don't actually like it frozen. Why do we call it frozen pizza when you heat it up? It's we call heat up pizza.
I don't know. You're gonna dive into this one when you're done with the beaks?
Maybe if that's what the people want, that's what I'm gonna dive into. Can we talk about this? I'm glad you brought this up because
Let's
this brought
talk.
up something that bugs me.
Yes.
Have you seen the commercials where it's like, I forget what it's called. It's some kind of like food delivery service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like they have like HelloFresh or whatever where they deliver the food and you just cook it. But they have one where you have to buy a special oven
I've seen these.
where you scan the food and then put it in and then it cooks it.
Yeah, I've seen these.
What is wrong with people?
Dude,
Why can't
what
you
is
just
that?
read the directions and type in the temperature and put it in your oven or your microwave? Why are they selling you a microwave that scans the label and then you put it in and it's in a microwave or it's in a toaster oven?
It's wild.
Wake
I don't
up,
fault the
people.
people that made it. I fault the people that bought it. And I'm sure the people that bought it aren't using it anymore.
No, you know what? That should be for people who are illiterate. That is the only people that should buy it because they can't read the directions.
Blind people.
Or blind people. You scan it. There you go, Bill. Blind or illiterate. And then there you go. That's who it's for. And maybe it says it at the very end.
It's
This product is only for blind or illiterate people. Everyone else just read the directions and put it in the microwave.
Not lazy. Like, what? How many seconds does it save you? Like, honestly.
I don't know. When you take out a bag of popcorn, you don't like scan the label and then throw it into your microwave. You just type in, how long do you cook popcorn? 2 minutes.
And then every meal you eat is just out of a bin, out of a tin, like a microwave meal out of an oven or something, It's like...
How healthy is it for you?
I knew a dude that fell for a thing where he bought a fridge with a subscription. It was like a freezer, and he had to buy food every month, and he was trying to get me to do it. I'm like, no.
It's a pyramid.
And then you go back to his house a few months later, a year later, and he's just got, it's just loads and loads of food they're not eating, packed in that fridge. It's
Subscription
been long
services are
canceled.
like, dude, they're like the trend, but like, I mean, some are good, but some are bad. But like, I don't get it. Remember when you would get a CD when you were a kid? Like you would get the CD membership. Like, did we talk about this before? Where like, I remember
BMG? Columbia House?
I remember spending hours like trying to find like the perfect CDs, and you
Get
send
10
away and they give you,
CDs
like,
for pennies.
Yeah, you would get 10, and then you'd have to buy one every month for a year or something like that.
Yeah. And then you'd be like, hi, I'd like to cancel. And they're like, didn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
All right, bye now. It was like impossible to cancel this thing.
Forever.
You had to go shake somebody down.
Yeah, dude, that was some wild times back in the day. That's what the kids these days, they don't have to experience it. Everything's streaming. It's all at their fingertips.
Oh my God, he
They
just
don't
said
have
kids
to-
these days. Uh-oh.
Kids these days. Welcome
You did
to
just
the
have a
segment
birthday.
of the show called Kids These Days.
Kids, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Kids these days.
Yep, kids these days. All right, that can be a segment we can work in. Any good Bill and Hollywood stories?
I have a whole list here of LA stories, and I'm trying to decide which one to tell. I'll tell. I'm saving some good ones. I'm just going to tell a little mini one, okay?
All right. How about
It might be anticlimactic. I don't know. So one time we went to this roller disco. After 10, this like roller skating rink in some part of LA I'd never been to becomes a roller disco, and it was awesome. Like people were just literally dancing, skating backwards. I don't know how people do that. But so I get my skates on, and then I realized, like, I was young, inexperienced. We didn't bring anything to drink. And somebody goes, there's beer over in that Gatorade thing. And so I'm like, sweet. And I look, and there's tile. And I'm, oh, God. But, I'm not going to take my roller skates off, right? Why would I do that? So I'm walking across this tile, like, and then I start doing the scoot, 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 when you go, da, 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 da. So I reach out because I have no choice, and I just grab this dude, and I, like, pull him a little bit. And I'm like, oh, and I recover, and I go, sorry, dude. And he turns around, and it's Zachary Ty Bryan from Home Improvement.
That's funny.
Oh, man. He's like, it's all right. He was cool. Like, he could have easily been like,
Don't touch me.
He probably, people do that to him all the time, just pull him down by his shoulder.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of his fans are probably on roller skates, to be fair.
Yeah. Most of them. Most of them are at Sonic. They're Sonic waitresses.
Yeah, if you Google it, I mean, the stats will show that 98% of his fan base are roller skaters. So I don't see where
that's a lie.
Probably didn't surprise him.
Yeah.
He was probably like, here's another one. Why do you think he was even there in the first place?
And they're four-wheel, not in-line. They're four-wheel. He's there to party, man.
Did you use the little, like, toe stopper?
I saw Wesley Snipes one time.
At the roller rink?
No. At this awards. I felt like 7 times that night. Maybe I was so sore, dude. Oh, man.
You fell at the award ceremony with Wesley Snipes, or you fell at the roller rink?
All right, one more story. I went to this. It was the Asian Achievement Awards, and I'm there, and Magic Johnson was there. The guy, he was there to introduce the Asian doctor that had all these AIDS breakthroughs, and then Quentin Tarantino was there. And my boss was like, "Oh, he loves Asian chicks," and I'm like, "Okay, so I guess he just came for that." I don't know, but it proved to be true later. He's just dancing around with all these Asian girls. And Wesley Snipes was there. It was amazing. And I was with this client of ours, and I had this idea to tap Quentin Tarantino and ask him to take a picture of us so I could tell people that, when you're drunk or whatever. I'm like, tapping Quentin Tarantino. He doesn't. I get the picture right away. He does not turn around. I'm just like, oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. You got 2 stories. God darn it. 3 celebrity mentions.
You said you got the picture.
Did not get the picture.
But you did get the picture.
By
him not answering.
I got the picture, yeah. And I was like, don't make a movie called Hateful Eight. Don't do that. It's going to suck.
I wasn't a fan of that one. What was it, The Hateful Seven? What was that movie?
Hateful Eight.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one.
Yeah, it just was sad. It was like, I don't know.
Not
a big Quentin Tarantino guy lately.
Not his best work. All right, Bill.
All right, man.
How many minutes was that?
39 total. But
we got one more minute left.
I guess we should say bye first. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye, everyone. I was going to say, one piece of advice to give people for the week coming up. If you're going to party in Philly, what's one thing that they should know?
If they're going to party in Philly?
Yeah, like they go out to a game next week. Phillies win Game 1 of the World Series. Friendly fan.
As long as you're not wearing like a Houston shirt and mouthing off, you'll be fine. As long as you're not mouthing off, you'll be fine. The problem is people wear these shirts, and instead of going, when people give me a hard time, I'll just take it, they just yell back. And then next thing you know, there's 7 dudes beating on them. I don't know. And
we'll be making a video out of it, splicing in the Jackass theme, and we'll be getting millions of views. So,
all right, everybody.
All right, till next week, guys. See ya.
Thank you.